Hey everyone, welcome to the Fin Factor Live Edition, and I am obviously pretty sick, but I am here for you, for the people.
Unfortunately,
yeah. I'm probably going to get Aaron sick.
No, I'm not happy
It's
about
a shame. I'm not worried about it, because I'm already sick.
Right. This is our last live with these dirty
That is
mustaches. This will be the last time you get to see, well, I guess our episode you will.
I like that you say get to see.
Right.
Have to see.
Yes.
Yeah. This last episode that we put you through this. That's a lie.
Everyone's like, I'll do a podcast this week. I don't want to look at you.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, again, we are here. So Aaron's got the laptop out. Comments and questions, please feel free to put them in the chat there. Aaron will go ahead and sort through them and then bring them up. So right now we don't have any comments or questions,
Nothing
right?
yet.
Okay, good. So if you want to talk a little bit about this week was another pretty good week. Edmonton had our number on the second game that we played against them in that span. We're talking about the span of 9 games, 8 wins in 9 games. It's pretty solid still.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I think you can kind of see that game coming too a little bit because the 6-game winning streak, the last 2 games of that streak, the Sharks were not playing well, but they were just doing enough to get the win. So, in fact, one of the quotes that I picked for the show, for the episode, is Coach Herr talking about exactly that, saying, you know, sometimes when you get on a win streak like that, you kind of get a little complacent and you do enough to get the win, and you do, but then you just don't play well. So it was good to kind of get I'd say they got their butts kicked against Edmonton. Yeah. They played well in the first period, I thought, and just couldn't score. And then after that, they were just like, deflated. You could tell. They weren't even trying in the second, third period. So good. I don't mind the Sharks. They're not gonna put together a 40-game win streak, right? Like, it's gonna come to an end. I'd rather it be ending like this than the other way around, where they play really well and don't get the win and they don't change anything. Whereas if you get a loss, then you kind of take a step back and go, okay, what did we do wrong? What do we need to address?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It was nice, the bounce back, although, again, 2 overtime games in a row. It took them to overtime to get those last 2 wins this week. But, you know, again, team comes together, pick up the W. Both 2-1 scores, both finishing by the hand of Captain Couture there. So really, really big stuff from the captain there.
That's
and
fantastic.
You brought up an interesting stat about the
Which
captain.
one?
About the captain leading
the team. I was like, what? There's so many stats here.
Yeah, there's tons.
Couture is leading the team in scoring and points. He's got 24 points in 24 games.
And it wasn't that long ago that we were all saying, this guy's got to step up. When's he going to get up and put some pucks in the net? And
well, he's got 2 overtime, so 2 game-winning goals, and he only has 5 on the season. But he was, a couple weeks ago, he was stuck at 1 for a long time. So it's good for him to see him step up. I mean, his shot percentage is 7.9%. You know that's a market correction that's going to go up.
Yeah.
He's probably around, I don't know what his career is, but probably closer to 11, 12% would be my guess. Maybe even a little bit more. So you're going to see, I think what you're going to see is Couture kind of scoring in bunches. He's going to get some confidence now with those 2 goals, and things he'll stop deflecting them off of Kane and getting the goal. I feel like he had another one in this last game. He was going to score, and he got robbed. I can't remember what it was. He was about to score and didn't. I'm like, oh, that's go figure. That's Couture, man. Just
funny.
Can't buy a goal.
Well, how we doing on questions? Anybody got anything for us so far? Or?
Personal conversation says 6 stashes, boys. Thank you. Karina.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Stashes.
Karina says, when's Hurdle going to be back? I don't know.
Wish we knew.
I have a feeling they're playing it safe a little bit, because he did come back the next game and then didn't come back after a while.
He skated, you mean?
I thought he played the next game he played against Anaheim. Wasn't it Anaheim? Who's it against?
No, I don't think he played.
I thought he
at all.
came back, and I was shocked that he was back, and then maybe I'm thinking Shimmick came back.
Yeah.
Shimmick was supposed to be out, and he came back.
Shimmick came back.
I thought Hurdle he came back in that game. I don't know. I can't remember. I swear he came back and then didn't after a while.
I think he was just skating with the
It's
team.
been a long week, sorry.
I'm supposed to be the one that's heavily medicated here.
Right.
But don't zoom in on me, please. It's. I think it was amazing to see Goodrow step up, not only just on the second line, but centering the second line.
Yeah.
And this is a guy that's come a long way.
I thought Marlowe was going to take over.
I thought so
center,
too.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But good for him.
It's an amazing thing to see a guy who is normally relegated to the 4th line And, maybe it's that goal, the game winner in Vegas, where he was kind of the overtime hero in the playoffs.
He's up to 11 points in 24 games.
I mean, this is amazing stuff from a guy that's normally, again, pushed to the fourth line, gets limited minutes, plays the PK, still plays the PK, and he's a phenomenal part of that. And he's a huge part of why the PK is so good. But then you've got him stepping up into not just, again, a winger on the second line to kind of fill in, because we talked about this. Usually it's a pairing. You get a centerman and a winger as part of that pair, and then they kind of rotate those other wingers through. And other teams do this too. But seeing Goodrow go from the wing to having to center the second line, you leapfrog Joe Thornton as your option, right? I mean, that's huge. That's a lot of responsibility put on that guy's shoulders.
Jumbo, to me, is not a second-line guy.
He's not, but...
He's barely a third-line guy at this point.
But when you talk about, in terms of centering, who's your next best option,
I'd say
they go with the guy who was normally as a fourth-line guy, who's been playing on the third line, who's been pushed up to the second, who then gets shoved over to center. Like, that's huge to me. That's a lot of responsibility placed on him when they could have easily just said, you know what, we'll take our third line center and make him our second line center. No, they stuck with that line, and then they pushed Goodrow up and in. And I thought he did a phenomenal job. He's doing great. So it's really good to see a guy, kind of that success story that you don't expect. He just kind of jumps in and he plays well. So
he's one
I'm
of
really
those
happy for him.
Undrafted players too. He's an undrafted player, so he's worked his tail off his entire career. Nothing's changed. So that's why those guys last.
It's a great story.
They're nothing but hard work.
Yeah.
Why does Radil keep getting chances? He's a plug. He's shoeless. That's exactly it.
Yes.
He's a plug. He's a plug for when Hurdle's out. What, he plugs in the lineup.
Yeah, yes. You plug him in.
Right. You plug him in because he's...
No, he's no good. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You know me, I'm fairly optimistic and everything. Don't do that. I'm fairly optimistic, with most guys, and hey, for the Sharks as a whole, as a team, they're not playing up to their potential right now. That's what I was saying, a couple weeks ago. They're not playing up to their potential. That's the bright side, is that they can be better than this. This isn't like them trying all out and this is the best they can muster, right? We know they're going to do better. In the last 9 games, or 8 games, the last 8 wins, rather, we've seen that out of them. Radil, I think we've seen the best we're going to see out of Radil, at least for this season, and it's just not good enough.
No.
It's not good enough to play on the fourth line.
No.
And he's supposed to be a guy that could come in with a huge body, and he actually was supposed to have a good scoring touch to him, but he hasn't shown anything. So I think his days are numbered. I mean, really, I can't imagine that they don't just waive the guy soon, because he's not helping your team out at all.
Nobody's going to want him.
Bergman, hey, that's fine. He'll play with the CUDA then. Maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he needs to play in the AHL for a little bit and get himself back up and going. Look, Sumela stepped in. Sumela did a pretty good job, I thought. Leon Bergman has got a little bit of experience now. He can jump back in the fold.
They did recall Noah Gregor.
They did, and I think it's well-deserved. Noah Gregor played really well.
I bet he's in the next game.
And I feel like he got sent back down because he would get sent down without having to be waived, and they were just trying to hope that Radil would kind of step back up and become a bit of the player that they were hoping he would be for that fourth line, but it's just not happening.
The goal, I think it was the goal the Islanders scored. Radil was on the ice. And the first thing I said was, who blew that coverage? And then I watched the replay. I'm like, oh, it's Radil. I bet he's going to get benched the rest of this game. And he ended up the game with, 4 minutes of ice time or something?
Yeah, I think he got a penalty in the second period or third. I can't remember where it was. He got a penalty in one of the games, and that was it. I mean, as he came out of the box, right on the bench, right that pine, buddy.
Getting yelled at practice by the coach, who's very frustrated with you, obviously, because you just can't figure out the system. And then you literally cannot figure out the system during the game, and you get a penalty. Yeah, it makes sense that you're going to get benched.
So, to me, again, I would much rather see a guy like Alex True get an opportunity. He's a big boy, too, and he's shown that he could put the puck in the net.
We saw Sumela get called up.
Yeah.
And I thought he played all right.
I think for a fourth-line center, he played perfectly fine.
It sucks that he got that goal called back. I wanted him so bad to get that, just to kind of get him a little confidence and keep him in the lineup, and assuming that he keeps playing like that.
But you know what? I mean, the callback doesn't take away the amount of work that he put in, right?
Yeah.
So he put the work in. Yes, it didn't count, but it's not like the coach would be looking at him saying, well, they called that one back on some weird technicality, so, you didn't do anything that game. No, he still came in there. He gave him a good chance. So I think Suomela might stick for a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I think, again, you've got guys that are I would much rather see over Radil in the lineup. Gregor being one. I could see Bergman coming back in. And, again, I would love to see a guy like Alex Chu get a shot.
Brzezinski?
He's a big dude. No, Brzezinski is not hurt. He actually played for the CUDA. I watched it. And hold on a second. Let me see. I'm kind of leaning out of shot. Sorry. But I got...
You're very much still in the shot.
Well, I am? Oh, okay, good. So I caught myself. No, that's too close. Don't do that. I caught this shirt that they threw, which is kind of cool. You know, they have it like all wound up and taped.
What size is that?
This is actually a...
Triple XL?
No. It's a medium, actually. So it's,
That was a
it's
medium?
nice. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
was it the bazooka gun?
No. It was just one of the tank patrols. She
Just throwing it?
She literally like threw it to me like a football pass, just like right there.
You're like there, like
I didn't have to jump.
nobody around you, and she's like, "Oh, here."
No, there were people around me, but she literally just threw it directly to me. I was like, "Thank you." So
Paul's
I don't know if it was the
throwing
hat.
She's like, "No, for the kid."
It might have been the hat. Well, I did have my kids around me, so but it's a medium. What do you want? Sorry, bud. It's my shirt.
If you received an elbow from Paul, call us now.
There you go. Yeah, type was it assist or whatever when you text the blue coats.
Yeah. James S. Carlson doing better or worse?
Same.
I don't want to say he's getting worse.
I don't think he's doing worse. I
He's
think
just not. He's not his superstar self yet.
Right.
Still getting there. So, yeah, not worse, but not better. How about that? That wasn't an option. I'll take the or. Deuces Shoeless. Also, best game of the season by far by Jones, the last game. Definitely. And you know what? There was a stat, and I didn't catch it. I saw it on the broadcast, I think, a week ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago. When Aaron Dell plays well, Martin Jones plays better. It's a kind of a healthy competition. I'm not saying because Jones is worried. That's just the way that it goes, kind of, with a healthy competition.
I'm going to go back to, I think when the team is playing well, the goaltenders tend to look like they're playing really well.
Aaron Dell stole the game in Vegas.
Yes, he did. He absolutely did. But I think that when the team is playing well, they don't play well for just a game and then they're horse dung the next.
I understand, but they also are stepping up their game.
Yes,
Both
absolutely.
of them.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying that I don't think that there's a direct correlation to Martin Jones playing better because Aaron Dell plays better. It makes it sound like Martin Jones is worried about losing a spot.
It's not the sole reason. It's one of the reasons.
Sure. I think it has a lot more to do with when the team has figured it out and they're playing well, they tend to play well for a couple games or for a stretch of games. And if that means Aaron Dell looks good on one night and the next night Jones is in net, and they're still playing really well in front of their goaltender, because that's what worked the last game, then you're probably going to see that goaltender, his stats, again, goalie stats, looking pretty good. And I thought Martin Jones did look good, don't get me wrong. I thought Aaron Dell did look good, don't get me wrong. But I don't like the connotation that's because. So that's me. Go ahead.
Cool,
super cool.
Twisted Wrister Hockey. The power play has gone cold for a while. Would you prefer to see some shifts in personnel? Usually I think the problem is them getting too cute out there. Yeah, but you're also playing against different teams that have different penalty kills. Some are stronger than others. The Islanders have given up the least amount of goals in the league. So I think it's pretty amazing. And they also, going into the game, had 15 points in 15 of their last 16 games, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So the Islanders, Barry Trott's team, very hot team. We talked about this in our last episode. Very defensive minded. You're not going to get many chances. And they played a very tight checking game the entire game. Mm-hmm. I felt like the Sharks barely had any time or space at all during the entire game, even on the power play. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that the Sharks were able to pull out the win. I think a lot of it was because of Martin Jones' play. Mm-hmm. The Islanders, I think, kind of looked a little bit better at most of the game. So I'm glad the Sharks got a full 2 points. And who cares about the bonus point when it's the other conference, right? So it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Well, what was the original question, though?
The power play.
Power play. Yeah. Last week I said that I thought the power play looked great. Even just going in the 4 for 20, I felt like the other 16 that we didn't score on, they were dangerous. They were getting really good looks, and they were trending the right direction. This week maybe not so much. I don't think we did that great on the power play this week. So, but you know what? Again, it's a testament to the 5-on-5 play. Yes, the games that we won were only 2-1 and they went to overtime, but we were shutting it down. I would much rather see us doing a good job playing defensive hockey and then letting the offense start taking care of itself. It doesn't mean you have to score 5 goals in a night. It's great when you do. It sells tickets. Mm-hmm. But, just getting the 2 points, that's what matters, right? So I like that they were playing a good shutdown game. They only allowed 1 goal in both of those games. And even if the power play isn't doing really well and they're not scoring on it, in terms of changing personnel, I wouldn't change personnel. I would just tell that group, stop being cute, right? You want that chemistry built still between those guys. You want them to get used to the way that they play so there's no miscommunications whatsoever, right? You know that when you're going down the wall with the bank having the puck and they start pressuring him, you know that Burns is going to slide over and that puck's going off the boards. It's always going to go back to him, right? Or Carlson, whoever it happens to be. So I think, those units, they have their own style of play. And they're all similar, obviously, because they're running the same system. But the guys' tendencies, I think, when that unit understands everybody's tendencies, you kind of want them to stick together. I would just tell them to stop being so cute because you're right. There are a lot of times where it's, fancy pass, that gets picked, right? Just knock that stuff off and just pound that net. Get there, move your feet. Because a lot of times our guys are just kind of standing there. And I would much rather see them moving and causing chaos, not trying to be cute.
Right.
So,
Sarah V, what do you think about the amount of penalties we were taking in the game against the Islanders?
Ridiculous. It's silly.
Way too many.
You're tempting a team to score.
You're flirting with disaster.
Yeah. I mean, we won that game 2-1. Now, look, I get that our PK is the best in the league, but let's not
not test it.
Right? So, yeah. Excuse me. I just don't think that you want to tempt that. I don't think that you want to constantly put yourself in a position that you're going to get, a goal against, because all it takes is that one time. If they scored 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6 is not difficult for most teams in this league.
Yep.
1 out of 6 power plays in that one game, and it doesn't make it to overtime, right? So, you definitely don't want to flirt with that. I don't know what it is about the Sharks and the amount of penalties that they take. Now, one of them was a bench minor. I think it was too many men, or hella dudes, as Shalina likes to say. And then one of them was, I think, not maybe a different game, but it was a Radil, I know, a stupid thing. He got benched, and he didn't get another penalty that game.
Right.
And, to Kaner's credit, in the Vegas game, they were pestering all night on Evander Kane, and he didn't take a penalty that game. He was calm, cool, and collected, and he just went about his business. So
he got mugged in that game.
Yeah, he did.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it
in what's his name? Myers' goal.
Yeah.
When Fleury went full Cobra Kai, he swept the leg. Did you see that?
Ridiculous.
That was insane.
That should have been a penalty.
It should have been, but
who does it after a goal?
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Who gets away with it after a goal?
Marc-Andre Fleury. There you go.
Interesting enough, the Sharks are the second most I don't want to say penalized, because that's not the right term. They've spent the most PK time, second most PK time.
That's because they're killing every single one of them.
But I mean, they also have taken almost the most penalties. But
right.
They're right behind the Capitals by 4 minutes. But the difference, the power play PK differential, is 32 minutes.
Really?
That means they've played the penalty kill 32 more minutes than their power play.
That's half a game.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time for only 24 games in right now.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That needs to change, I would think. First off, I think this happened last season. Almost every season it's like this, but for the Sharks specifically, the beginning of the season, the referees call way more penalties, and then first 2-3 months of the season, and then it starts to tail off.
Yeah.
And then by playoffs, it's like nothing. It'll be like Marc-Andre Fleury tripping somebody and not getting called. That's what it's going to be like. So I'm pretty sure the Sharks will take less penalties.
Yeah.
But good for them. Their PK is strong, so less chances. That penalty kill might stay. It's at 90.9% still. It might stay right around there.
Yeah.
Not flutter too much,
Mm-hmm.
So it is an elite part of their game.
No, absolutely.
It helps.
It is. Yeah.
Here we go. Real quick, Max Way, how do I turn in a clip for NHL 20 on Xbox? You can email it, and what Patrick does is he sends me a link that goes to the cloud server for Microsoft or something, and I can get it from there. So You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Dying?
I'm dying. Slowly.
Oh, I gave it away. So Radil was the mystery player that got yelled at during practice a few weeks back.
Yep. Thanks, Aaron.
I was gonna say yeah, but all right, sure.
Everyone wanted to know. Now they know.
It was guessed correctly during that show.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
somebody.
But
We
I
just
didn't confirm
react.
it.
We didn't react.
I didn't confirm it.
So for Mad Cow Jr., if we have Alex True, then we will have 3 ex-Seattle Thunderbird players. Marlowe, Dylan, and True.
Sweet.
Cool factoid.
I'm cool with that. Why not? Yeah.
Tyler McElroy. How do you think Burns is playing the last few games? Offensively?
Yeah, offensively, it's pretty good. No, he made a couple good defensive plays, I thought, though. He had one where he was doing the human Zamboni again.
And it worked.
It worked.
He swung his stick around. The guy was not expecting it, and he stripped the puck away, and he didn't trip him this time.
I mean, look, he's this time. Look, he's he's a big dude. He plays in all situations. We talked to Doug Wilson about this, and we asked about maybe the possibility of having like a Norris and a Bobby Orr trophy, right? A best defensive defenseman and a best offensive defenseman to kind of give credit where credit's due, because Marc-Edouard Vlasic is never going to win the Norris unless he starts scoring goals like like Burns or like Carlson or assists like Carlson, right? So, and I just don't think that's really fair. We talked about that, but what he said was, he goes, look, Burns plays in all situations. He plays in the PK, he plays 5-on-5, he plays power play, he does everything. So whether or not people think that Burns is good defensively, he's out there in those situations, and he's trusted by the team to do those things. Is he the best of defensively? No, he's not. But again, that's kind of the risk-reward type of player that he is. You have him out there hoping that you're going to get an offensive opportunity, a break, a long bomb pass, the human Zamboni move that seems to work every once in a while. So, I mean, what do I think about Burns? I think, he's an integral part of this team. I mean, what Erik Karlsson should be to this team, right? That's what Burns is right now, I think. And, his points, kind of speak to that. He's third on the team in points, I think, is what you said. I think Burns is third overall in points because Hurdle's number 2. Couture's number 1.
He's number 2.
I mean,
3,
it's hard to argue with that. I mean, yes, he gives up some stuff defensively, but so do some of the guys that are in the top point getters, right? Like maybe Kane gives up a little bit defensively.
His average time on ice for Burns, 25 minutes, 24 seconds.
See, that's the other thing. He's constantly out there against the other team's better players.
Logan Couture, the leading scorer of the Sharks, 18 minutes, 45 seconds.
There you go. So, I mean, you're playing that guy an extra 7 minutes over Logan, who's, a really good two-way forward. And Burns
also plays in all situations.
Exactly. But he's known more for his two-way play, whereas Burns isn't known for his two-way play because he's not really good defensively. Well, I mean, he's trusted in those situations, and he's out there again to stir up offense. And if that means that every once in a while he gets Burns defensively, I did not mean to do that pun. I did not mean to do that. It just jumped out. Every once in a while he gets burned defensively. Well, that's what Šimik is paired up with him for. So, again, he commented Šimik, really good reads. If they play well together, hopefully Šimik can pick up the slack defensively, and that can help Burns, get the puck and move the puck up the ice, because that's essentially what they're trying to do. They're just trying to move the puck up.
One thing that really bugs me, I don't know if this is just Burns that does this, but when they're defending and the other team has the puck in the Sharks' zone, I feel like Burns goes, like if the puck's going around the boards, Burns will go behind the net with the other defender behind the net. Now you have both defenders behind the net, and you're expecting that centerman to cover the slot area, which they haven't typically been doing, which is why they've been giving up so many high danger chances that they get kicked out. So I'd rather see Burns stay in front of the net and then have the forward go down low. But I think with the Sharks, the way that their system is they try and counterattack, and so they need the center more up high than to get him down low. Like most other teams, I feel like they put the forward down low, then both defenders down low.
Yeah.
That, and I also thought, man, you cannot have Burns and LeBanc on the ice at the same time defending, because they keep blowing their coverage. They keep trying to cheat kind of to get out of the zone and keep possessing. Like there's a couple times where LeBanc possesses in the defensive zone.
Yeah.
Oh man, in overtime he was pissing me off too, because he kept circling out of the zone. It's like, dude, get rid of the puck.
Yeah.
Like I felt like he was trying to do too much. He was trying to be the hero and be too much. He needs to move the puck more.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And, again, it comes down to that risk-reward type of play where you've got, guys like Burns and LeBanc who they try to cheat a little bit more, right, to get up the ice and get a scoring opportunity, and that's just part of the game. You're not going to rely on those guys for defense all the time. You're going to rely on those guys to move the puck up. So, it can be a bit of a liability when both of them are on the ice, but when they are both out there and they're connecting with each other, the puck's generally getting across and into the zone. So, the Sharks are aware of that. They know, what their players bring and what their deficits, if you will, what those are, and they're willing to accept that. And so far, I can't really argue, at least in the last 9 games, when you pick up 8 of them, right? So they seem to know what they're doing.
Yep. Turnovers need to stop, and it's been a big problem with us in the last few years. Yes, but the Sharks have Karlsson and Burns, and even Vlasic in a way, who can play the puck. And I think that's why there's more turnovers coming out of the back end, because most teams, their defenders are not Burns or Karlsson, and they can't make those passes. Even if they tried, it wouldn't even be close. So they just chip the puck out of the zone or off the boards or whatever. They play more conservatively.
Yeah.
I feel like because the Sharks have more skill, they're going to try and make that keep possession and try and make a play, even the home run passes up the middle to spawn a breakaway. But I think it kind of goes hand in hand because we have Karlsson and Burns.
Well, what's funny is I took a look at the stat turnovers or giveaways. I think it was giveaways is the stat. Mm-hmm. And you look at who gives the puck away the most, and Burns and Karlsson aren't immediately on that list. They're down quite a bit. There are quite a few other high-profile defensemen that are on that list. I think Yossi might have been one of them too. I mean, these are guys again who play tons of minutes. So, yeah, they're probably going to be prone to giving the puck away more often because they're on the ice more often, right? Especially defensemen. Defensemen generally have more giveaways because, again, they're trying to make those passes to break out, and, it's getting picked off. Now, it's exemplified because we're Sharks fans, and we see it, and because we have 2 offensive defensemen on the team. So I'm sure if you added up Burns and Karlsson and you take a look at the amount of giveaways that they've had, and you add up the top 2 guys giveaways on other teams, maybe those 2 guys have more giveaways combined than the other 2 top giveaway people, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to say. On other teams, right?
People.
Right. Maybe they give away the puck more as a combined unit or whatever, as a pair. But when you look across like the top ones, they weren't immediately on that list. Now, I looked at that stat weeks ago. So that might have changed since then. But I 100% agree with you. The amount of giveaways I would love to see come down. The thing is, everybody would love to see the amount of giveaways for their team go down. Nobody wants to give the puck away. So we see it, yes. But you know what? Nashville, they take a look and they see it. LA, they take a look and they see it. We got to stop giving the puck away. That's like saying, we need to be more consistent. Well, yeah, consistency is like the ultimate goal. If you could be consistent and score every single night, well, then you're a stud superstar player in this league. If you could be consistent and make every save, yeah, you're a stud superstar, like godlike goaltender. Like consistency isn't the baseline. Consistency is the goal. And it's almost the unattainable goal. You can't be 100% consistent, right? There are going to be times where you're not consistent. There's going to be times where there's a chink in your armor and you have to kind of rise above that in one way or another, whether that's, again, your defense around you clamping down or your offense, taking over the game and putting goals in the net. But I don't even remember what the original question was, but that's just kind of like, again, I'm highly medicated right now, folks. I'm here for you. But, yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Nicholas Egan, 2 questions here from 2 different people. Same thing, kind of, same topic. Should we just get used to the 7D a game, or will they go back to 6 once Hurl comes back? What do you think about Pete DeBoer going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen from Angelo Nunes? I think we've seen that before.
Yeah. Rarely.
I mean, that kind of speaks more to his faith in the 4th line guys. It's just not there, right? Yeah. So why not dress an extra defenseman? That way, if a defenseman takes a penalty, you got some backup, or somebody gets hurt.
Injury, yeah.
Maybe, you know what? They might have done it because of Shimmick.
Yeah.
They didn't know how Shimmick was going to be, and they didn't want to go down to 5 defensemen in the game. So
they didn't have any other forward options. That's
the 4th line's terrible.
Yeah.
They're barely getting any minutes. Why not throw an extra defenseman there instead and just kind of mix up that 4th line with
I mean,
other
look,
guys?
when you're going to skate Radil for 4 minutes a night, and you've already only played 11 forwards, yeah, you're probably going to play 7 defensemen.
He had 6 minutes and 14
Oh, I'm sorry,
seconds.
6 minutes. My bad.
Suomela had 9 minutes.
There you go.
But that's it. Like, that's the fourth line.
Yeah.
They probably just rotated a winger in.
Kaner was popping in with them quite a bit, I thought. Yeah.
So I don't mind it. I think it was an insurance policy because of Shimmick's knee. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Maybe let's keep doing that until Hurdle's back. Shimmick's a little bit more healthier. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It worked.
They may stick with that when Hurdle gets back after they waiver deal.
Or maybe they're showcasing a defenseman to trade. Heed or...
That could be part of it, too. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
There's probably a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's nothing.
No, I think it's something. I think it's something. Don't you do it again.
Deuces Shoeless, how about Ferraro with the sick pass for Sorensen's goal?
Hey, how about Ferraro and everything this kid does, huh?
Unreal, man. That pass,
Yeah.
I could have scored that goal. He just put it right over the defender's stick, right onto Sorensen's stick. Like, Sorensen didn't have to move. He had his stick out there, and he was like, oh, tap, thanks.
Kid's phenomenal.
He's great.
Kid
He's
is absolutely
a great
phenomenal.
skater. I think he's a pretty good defenseman.
Yeah.
Defensively defenseman. But
You know what gets me up about him is the physical side. That kid is
Yeah.
not afraid to throw the body around. I'm just really impressed with everything he does. And the most impressive thing for me about him is that he's still here in the NHL. He's still here. This is a guy who comes straight out of college, right? I mean, really.
Yeah.
So, and he steps in. I mean, was he playing with Cale Makar, or was he just on the same team as Cale
No,
Makar?
he was on his...
He was partnered
yeah.
with him. I mean, hey, I don't know what the two of those guys were doing for a training regimen, but it works.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm more than impressed with Ferraro. I'm glad because I was saying it. And I'm like, if he can stick in the lineup, he's going to be huge for us. If he could stay. I know you had your doubts about whether or not he was going to be able to stick around, and I get that. But I mean, as of right now, this kid does not look like he's ready to give up his spot. I mean, maybe that's why they're playing 7 defensemen, because they're not willing to sit him.
Maybe they just like his reviews on YouTube. He has his own YouTube channel.
I hope they don't. I don't know if they know about it or not.
What does it matter?
I don't know. You're not really supposed to be taking time out to be doing YouTube videos.
He's on the road,
like
in
a couple
hotel
of goofs
room.
over here.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come on. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? He does it was an iPod or AirPods.
It's all what do you call it?
He was doing an AirPod 2 case review, and then he did like a Modern Warfare
gadgets. You know what?
Warfare mobile
I
review.
bet he gets those as for free.
Totally
Here,
does. Yeah.
review these for us.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a great little side hustle.
Yeah, for sure.
You get free stuff.
We're paid in ravioli.
He's got less views and less subscribers than we do. Just saying.
Hey, we ate there last night.
Hey, Mario, if you're watching, buddy, we can help you with your view count, okay? Not by doing this, though. This is going to kill your view count.
Angelo Nunez. Dude, is it me or do people from all over the league watch Sharks games versus Vegas? LOL.
Yes.
To me, there's not very many good rivalries right now in the NHL. Not like there used to be. I remember watching in the mid-'90s the Detroit-Colorado rivalry. Those things were nasty. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Claude Lemieux and Joe Sakic, Forsberg, and then there's Fedorov and McCarthy on the Red Wings. And
The line
You're on
ball,
yeah.
right?
What?
Me? Yep. I'm muted. Oh, I'm muted. I'm sorry. I muted myself. No, the line brawls that they would have.
Yeah.
Waugh and Osgood, Waugh and Vernon,
Yeah.
Waugh and Hasek. I mean, I remember that clip. Another right by Waugh. Another right by Waugh. I'm like, kind of one-sided there, buddy.
No, it's
but
not quite
okay.
like that rivalry.
Yeah.
But that rivalry was born out of the playoffs. They had one playoff series, and it was nasty.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Sharks in Vegas. The
Yeah.
very first Vegas's first matchup 2 years ago now. That kind of started it for Vegas.
Yeah.
And then the Sharks, I think, were just annoyed. And also, the Kings and Ducks are not good anymore. That's kind of where the rivalries were for the last, 10 years or so.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, it was Dallas. Before that, it was Detroit. Like, the Sharks, I mean, with
Calgary.
their rivalry. Calgary was really good for a while. So I think it's just shifted to Vegas. And I think it's exciting to watch. You don't know what's going to happen, especially with Reeves and Kane. And I think Reeves and Kane know that, and it helps a little bit. The league knows that because they've been playing it up. So I think it's good. People get upset about it, whatever. It's better product for the NHL to have more eyes on it, especially people like what he said in his comment was there's a couple. Mad Cow said there's a couple people at my school that watch Sharks vs. Vegas for fun, and I'm in school in Dallas, so they're not Sharks or Vegas fans.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's good that more people, not Sharks fans and not Vegas fans, are watching.
Yeah.
It's a better product. Makes for a better product.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. It's kind of interesting what you said about how the rivalry with the Ducks and with the Kings is not quite there anymore, and that largely in part because they're not good teams anymore, right? Those two teams. We just listed off a bunch of teams that we've been rivals with. And it's funny because if you think about it, that kind of speaks to how good the Sharks have been for such a long stretch of time, is because we've had a different team that we're rivals with so often.
They come and go, basically.
Yeah, because as the other ones are falling off and they're no good, another team rises up, becomes really good, and then we're rivals with them because we're still good. Right? If we were falling off the map and we were horrible, we probably wouldn't be rivals with anybody. Just like, the rivalry with the LA Kings right now is kind of falling off the map because they're no good,
I think the Detroit one kind of faded because they got moved to the Eastern Conference. So we don't see them as much.
For sure.
But that was pretty good when we were playing them in the playoffs. Even in the, mid to late 2000s, we played them a couple times. We just sent out the link for our Movember mustache. If anyone we'd appreciate any donations, any amount. The show tonight, the episode tonight that we're gonna record, we're gonna highlight the best comments. So tonight will be the last time you'll be able to get your comment in, and any amount, just put a donation in and put a really funny, witty comment. Keep it family friendly so we can use it on the show, but the best ones will get highlighted. So the link is there.
I think I've heard every Super Mario one already, so. Maybe
it's Mario.
Yeah, there's another one.
What's the other one? Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Freddie Mercury was the other one.
God, the thing is so gross.
Magnum P.I., Ned Flanders.
Ned
Flanders. Magnum P.I. Was another good one. Yeah.
You need a Detroit hat.
A Detroit hat?
That's what he wears. Magnum P.I.
No, I'm good.
All right, go on. Getting a little off subject here.
Is it that time of night already?
No. I don't know how to say this name, but Melker's injury makes me wonder, since we're an injury/game versus Vegas. Short of acquiring Haley again, what do the Sharks do against really physical teams? That's going to ruin them again over the playoff run. Even Hetty was upset that no one answered Reeves' hit on Melker. Can't really outskill teams if a chunk of your team is on crutches. I think, where's Vegas in the standings right now?
1 point above.
We're tied. Or, shoot, is it 1 right now?
I think they're 1 point above.
They're 1 point. But they have a game in hand. So, they're 1 point ahead, but we have a game in hand, so we could pass them in the standings. To me, they've been crashing and burning. I said earlier in the season that I don't think they could possibly be a bubble team. I still think that. I think they think they're better than they are. Anyway, my point being, with the Reeves hit and everything, I think teams are going to go in a different direction. I don't think a physical team like that is going to win a cup again this year, and then it's a copycat league and everyone's going to copy what the winner is. So I don't think the Sharks need to go out and get a bruiser just to fight Reeves, who gets 10 minutes of ice time and somehow a third star in the game. That's a whole other topic that I'm going to talk about.
Because he had 12 hits, man.
Yeah.
12 hits.
Who counts the 12 hits?
Who forgot about Aaron Dell?
The person in Vegas that lives in Vegas is a Vegas fan.
Yeah.
Vegas employee, keeps track of hits.
Yeah.
It's very arbitrary on whatever arena you go to.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to be a statistician at the games.
Yeah, and hits wasn't kept until fairly recently.
No, because we were looking at so many other things.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do
you think the Sharks need to go out and get somebody? Haley was the question, because he's on waivers.
I mean, look, again, I wouldn't mind Haley, okay? I don't have a problem with Haley. I know a lot of you guys did last season, and frankly, I don't know why. We thought that he came out and he played a fairly decent game. He was more or less reliable. You know what you're going to get with him. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with him. In the same way that I didn't have a problem with getting Patrick Marleau. Now, I said that because Patrick Marleau fit the bill. What are you looking for? You're looking for a cheap, scoring, depth winger.
We're talking about Marleau, not
right?
Haley.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But that's what you were looking for with Marlowe. So that's what we got.
I mean, put it
If
this
you're
way.
looking, if the Sharks are looking for a guy who can go out there and be that guy, the enforcer or whatever, I don't have a problem with Haley because he fits that bill. He can go out there, play fairly reliably, right? He's gonna hit people. He's gonna fight when you need him to fight. And I mean, he's just a little jitterbug out there. I have no problem with
Would you rather have Haley or Radil in the lineup right now?
I would much rather have Haley in the lineup than Radil. You know why? Haley probably still knows the system.
That's true.
I mean, for real, like, come on. Like, honestly.
He also played in Florida for Bugner.
Yeah.
So he's familiar with a lot of the guys on the team, plus the system and everything else.
When he came back the first time, he's like, I'm so glad to be back. I wanted to be back. I love this locker room. I love these guys. I love this organization.
That's the other thing. He's a character guy in the locker room. He's not some quiet kid or something. Like he's got a mouth on him, and everyone loves him. Everywhere he goes, everyone loves him.
Look, again, say what you want about Haley and his inability to put the puck in the net and whatever else. I think if that's what the Sharks are looking for, if they're looking for a guy that can fill in and just give you hard minutes and make the other team, look over their shoulders. He's fast. He's a pretty quick little dude, and he'll throw. So if that's the type of player that they're looking for, absolutely, Haley fits that 100%. Do I think they need it? No, I don't think they need it. But I will say he's a much better option than Radil. And if you don't think Bergman sticks in the lineup, if you don't think that Gregor is going to stick in the lineup, which I kind of do, if you don't think Suomela is going to stick in the lineup, is he a guy that you plug in and maybe you healthy scratch every once in a while when you do plug someone else in? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think Haley is a bad call there.
Here's a St. Louis fan,
Oh.
Joe Dodge.
Hello, St. Louis fan.
I was like, what? You know him? I didn't
No,
say his
just
name.
I'm just friendly to everybody here.
Going
That's
back
all.
to the rivalry games, I can confirm I watch those games for the rivalry. Also,
Cool.
I don't want the Blues to have to face either team in the playoffs. That's good to know.
That's actually an interesting point.
And then jumping to that, thoughts on the Bertuzzo suspension.
Yeah.
And he said, Joe Dodge, the St. Louis, it was a cheap shot, and he most likely deserves a bigger suspension. For those who don't know, he was cross-checking Arvidsson in the back.
Arvidsson crashed the net. He was in the blue paint, where you don't really belong. And any goaltender would love to have their defenseman clear that guy out of that blue paint. The problem is he cleared him out with hitting a cross-check to the numbers on the back. The guy's Arvidsson's head went off the crossbar. I don't know if it made a ping or not, but off the crossbar, and he essentially falls into the net in a really awkward kind of neck back snapping kind of way, right? Goes down, and Bortuzzo has the gall to look over at the ref and go like he's diving kind of thing. I guess that's what he thought, and he thought he was diving. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just kind of going off of what I've read and what I saw. And Arvidsson kind of sees that the puck is squirting out. He tries to crawl himself out of the net, and he's still on all fours. And as he's on all fours, Bortuzzo comes straight down with a cross check, straight down on him. And it was like
twice. It wasn't just one.
No, it was one in the back and then one straight down hard.
No, I thought he hit him twice down hard.
Watch it again. It's
right.
One on each. And correct me if I'm wrong, Blues fan. But he slammed him straight down. Now the second one, absolutely deserving of the suspension that he got. Absolutely deserving of more than what he got. I know people were saying 10 games. I don't know in terms of what the number ought to be, but what I do know is that type of stuff needs to be frowned upon more than just saying 4 games. Because if that's the precedent we're setting, and the guy's out for 4 to 6 weeks, Arvidsson is. You're telling me you can knock a guy out for 4 to 6 weeks and all you have to do is take a paid vacation? That's not good enough. The Department of Player Safety needs to let the people know or the players know this cannot be tolerated. We're not going to allow this, specifically when you've already got the penalty. You know you got the penalty. You're taking out your frustration on the cross. You looked at the ref. The ref looked at you. You're bargaining to the ref. You turn immediately and slam the guy who's on all fours, defenseless.
That's what I do in ASHL.
Yeah, okay,
ASHL.
sure.
Oh, I'm ready to get a penalty?
Yeah.
Well, make it worth it.
But even then, in the ASHL, if you do it a second time, they'll give you a second penalty.
Oh, I think
this one they gave
Binnington
him 2
actually
minutes.
cross-checked him a third time as
And
he
then
got knocked into the
Binnington,
net, too.
thank you for reminding me. And then Binnington gives him a nice little shove. Well, the guy's already injured, so now as Binnington is hitting a guy who's injured, now he probably didn't know he was injured, but I could see
He must have really
for me,
messed up his back.
For me, like, I would much rather see every single cross-check called. When they're up against the boards and the guys are just constantly hitting like this on a guy's back, call that. Because then they won't do this stuff anymore where you have, constantly cross-checking guys in the back. There's a penalty called cross-checking. When a guy cross-checks you, you should be calling it. Why aren't we calling it, right? And it's not like it happens in playoffs and they kind of take it easy. No, it happens every single time on playoffs, regular season, preseason, everywhere. And nobody calls cross-checking penalties unless it's like this, where a guy has to get drilled head first into the crossbar.
I feel like if it's a scoring chance and you get cross-checked, like there's a rebound and you get cross-checked and you get thrown to the ice.
Sure.
But like a lot of times you see like Pavelski a lot when he stands in front of the net, he gets dumped all the time.
Yeah, and I don't, it's not about my team. It's about, I don't like the cross-checking that goes on specifically in the back.
And that kind of ended Mike Ricci's career because he took so many cross-checks. He was known for standing in front of the net and getting those rebounds, getting those dirty goals, and he got cross-checked so many times in his back that he had back problems. And I don't want to say he retired. I guess he retired early. He wasn't that old. He's probably in his early 30s. Mm-hmm. So he could have played another 5-6 years if they did exactly what you're saying, not calling those penalties.
Yeah, to me, I would much rather see all the little ones get called. You won't see those big ones so much anymore. And when it is a big one like that, if it's an intent to injure or something, then boost it up, man. Give them more minutes or give them the suspension. I mean, especially when the guy looks over at the ref, barks at the ref, and then turns and slams the guy who's defenseless.
Yeah.
Like that, to me, you can't do that and give the guy 4 games. Dude is out for 4 to 6 weeks, probably 6. So to me, it's just, it's ridiculous. Now, that doesn't reflect on you as a Blues fan. That doesn't reflect on the Blues team as a whole, although we do kind of feel like the Blues play a heavier game, and sometimes stuff like that goes unchecked. However, take that with a grain of salt. As you can tell, we are a Sharks fan show, so maybe we're a little bit biased here, just saying a little, okay? But, we do see stuff like that, specifically with the Blues sometimes, and most specifically, Bortuzzo has done that. There's a couple times we've seen him do stuff like that. It's not the first time. We saw the replay of him doing it twice. That's the one you saw. It's one of those things that I would like to see that out of the league. I don't like seeing that type of stuff. Player safety needs to take this stuff more seriously.
Having said that, I want to see the Sharks defenders not do that, but clear out the front of the net better.
Oh, yeah.
And going back to the original question about Reeves hitting Melker Karlsson, I want to see some guys stepping up.
Yeah.
And maybe not having to fight Reeves, but at least get in his face and maybe drop the gloves and just hug it out a little bit, Like just something. Somebody do something. That's what I'd like to see.
Well, I wonder who was on the ice at that point in time. I wonder if...
it was Melker Karlsson, so it's probably the fourth line.
Right, but I'm saying...
Maybe it was Radil.
But okay, maybe Radil, yeah. But was it Vlasic and Karlsson? Because if it was Dylan out there, I have a feeling Dylan would have been like, hey, man, I'm guessing Kaner wasn't out there with that fourth line.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I doubt it.
Because, but he was taking shifts with the fourth line, I thought.
That wasn't the Vegas game. That was the Islander game.
Maybe, yeah. So, I don't know.
Real quick, let's do a roll call. Where are you watching us? And how did you find us? And super producer Jason's going to throw those up on the screen so they'll scroll through. And the other thing is I'm going to post up our link to our store. You can find these wonderful, there's a shirt behind me here. This is our gray shirt. If it's in the shot, pulling it the wrong way. And we have gray, we have black, we have teal, and then we also have a women's deep V shirt. And you all right over there? And a hat and stickers. What? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here's the black.
Nice. I talked to you about this earlier. I don't know if you guys were at one of these games here where they had the waffle eating contest with Joey Chestnut. On the back of it says Chestnut too. It's kind of cool. I happen to get a couple of these because we got our Shark Freak jerseys, and I saw these were sitting in a box as well, and I asked about it, and our good buddy Doug Bentz was there, and he says, you know what, go ahead and take these. So I grabbed a couple of these as well, these little waffle things. I don't know if you guys, if anybody didn't get a chance to go to this game and get one of those shirts, but I mean, I have a couple of them. I wouldn't mind doing like a giveaway, maybe we'll do. So if we figure out what we're going to do with that, then I'd more than happily give these guys away. So maybe keep an eye open for that if you guys are interested in those shirts and you weren't able to go get one or something. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, that's visit the store. Anything that you get at the store, it certainly does help us out with the show. We are in a holding pattern on Studio B, but once we get that going, all of the proceeds definitely will help us out. We are planning a major upgrade to the studio. It should look a lot better. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that we've done a pretty decent job with what we've got, but we've got some pretty big plans. So again, any of the super chat, any of the store bought items, that really does help us out. Do remember that we are going to have a Black Friday sale as well. We'll announce more details on that when we come up with details to give you.
They'll be in our episode that we're recording tonight.
That's true. And we'll put it up on socials as well. And is Patty done with now, the free shipping? Tonight is the last night for free shipping on using Patty, P-A-T-T-Y, as your coupon code. So if you do happen to purchase something, please remember to use Patty to get yourself that free shipping. But also do look forward to the Black Friday sale that we'll be having. I don't know what we're doing just yet, but we'll have something for you.
I'm going to need your mustaches on a shirt from Dude.
Quick question. Whose mustache do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy the gigantic black marker chevron that I'm rocking here, or do you like the cowboy from Montana, Aaron, with the horseshoe? Yeah, let us know who you think has the better mustache. And I don't know if nothing's going to come of it. I just want to know what you think.
Can we do a poll in here?
Yeah, can you?
Maybe I'll do it on our I'll do it on our channel.
Yeah, there you go.
On our community.
We got to throw Joe in there too, though.
Yeah, Joe's got
the
I don't know what you call that.
I don't know what that thing is.
It's pretty baller though.
It's essentially like a beard, but like with the cheek kind of shaved a little bit, so it's more like a line, and then the chin's gone. So like it's just this weird like line. I don't know. I think he did it before last season. I think he's done it before. Yeah. But yeah, Joe's got a pretty sweet one too.
Aaron's is objectively worse from Luke.
Oh, there you go.
You know what's great? I walk into work every day and everyone just goes, "Oh, you still have that thing." I'm reminded every day because I forget. Like I don't think about it. I'm walking around and I get weird looks. I'm like, "What?" Like, wow, you still have that mustache? I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do." Yeah. Then I go to the bathroom and I look in the mirror and I go, "Oh man, forgot it was there for a minute."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no good. I'm over there. Oh, you're getting zoomed in on there. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. In all his glory. Oh my goodness. You know what? Your eyebrows really stand out when he gets that close with the camera. I think it's the head.
Well, they're very thick eyebrows. You're not having any hair.
There he goes again.
That's why I like to have a full beard because it kind of offsets the not having the hair down here. Yeah, it also keeps my face warm. It's very cold when I have this clean shaven. It's weird to clean shave my face. I haven't done it in so long, like consistently.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like it.
And we're off the rails.
Yeah, yes, we are definitely off the rails. This is the
Luke, Paul looking like Tom Selleck over there.
There you go. Magnum PI, buddy. I just need the Hawaiian shirt, right?
Don't make me choose. That's cold. That's like asking if I like mom or dad better. That's pretty good. Paul's looking like he's auditioning for Magnum PI.
There you go. Yeah, I am.
You just need a Hawaiian shirt.
You drove over with Ferrari, was it?
And then, yeah, I think so.
The Ferrari, yeah.
Justin Brown's a beast. Neither.
They're both pretty bad.
Oh, they're so gross. All right. Yeah, I think we are going off the rails. So, what do you think? Anything else?
I think we're good. If anybody's got any other last second question or topic, maybe something for the show. We haven't filled out our whiteboard yet, but
Smith Pelly. It's a free agent. Problem with free agents is I don't know how we could sign anyone. They're actually at 48 contracts, and what we heard from before is GMs don't like to go 49. They definitely like to go 50. Yeah. They don't want to go 49 because it makes trading really hard. Yeah. And trading's the only thing you can do at that point. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we're going to sign any kind of free agents. I think it's just going to come via trade or this is it. And I don't think it's going to be a big trade either.
I got a feeling this is it, unless they do a trade, maybe giving a defenseman up to pull in yet another depth winger, depth scoring winger. If Goodrow can continue on the trajectory that he's on right now and be able to play in the top 6, there's really no reason, bringing a guy in to play on that third or fourth line that's reliable, aka not Radil. That why you wouldn't want to bring a guy in necessarily, and if it meant losing one of the 7 defensemen that you're addressing, like a Tim Heed, to get like a depth scoring guy. Winnipeg needs a defenseman really bad, right? So maybe a Tim Heed to Winnipeg makes sense. For who, I don't know. I don't know their system. I don't know their players that well. I mean, you probably do, but maybe there's a depth scoring where they're willing to give up to get some actual defensive help. I think Tim Heed could blossom in a place where he's getting more minutes. I don't think he's going to do it here in San Jose, at least. He hasn't done it. I don't know why he re-signed. I'm happy that he re-signed because it was a cheap contract and he's decent enough.
Yeah.
He's just not going to get the time. So I think a trade for Tim Heed to go somewhere else and bring in
credit though. I think he's been playing better.
Yeah, he has been playing better.
2 weeks or so.
But he's not going to get the time.
No, but
yeah,
806 in the last game, but that was with 7 defensemen.
Right.
He had the least amount for defensemen, and he had 26 seconds of power play. However, they only had 1 power play in that game, right? So he got Burns had 1:09, Carlson had 44 seconds. Then it was Heed. So they basically are using Heed when they dress 7 defensemen. They're using Heed as the power play specialist defenseman for the second power play line. It's kind of like, I feel like that's how LeBanc was used early on, in like his first year or so. Like they knew his offensive thing was, his offense was very elite, but his defense just wasn't there, so they used him on the power play more than anything else. Yeah. Tim Heed for Blake Wheeler. Come on, man.
Patrick Laine.
It's like
We need Laine.
it's like I'm trying to think of comparable. It's like them trading their 7th defenseman for Tomas Hertl.
Right.
No, I hope that was a joke. Heed for Makar. No, these are just getting better.
Yeah. No.
We can trade for Crowbra. We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
There's no place for him in the lineup.
Yeah.
What about Heed for Ovechkin? That might work.
Okay, we are definitely off the rails.
Yep. Bring back Eric Fair for the 4th line. That I don't mind.
Sure. Yeah.
Then you have Carlson on
Yeah.
the wing, and you have
But
plug and play.
But I don't think we need Eric Fair as much as we need a depth winger, like a third line winger, right? That can play up or play down. I think that's what the Sharks really do need more than a 4th line centerman. That's me, and I don't think we need help on the PK, obviously. So Eric Fair can help us there, but do we really need to be 91%, 92%? I think
No,
we're
but that
okay.
does free up somebody else to not play penalty kill.
But the penalty kill's been working. I wouldn't want to free anybody up.
Just to keep them fresh, my point. Like,
Yeah.
take Couture off of that.
Okay,
Keep 'em
maybe.
fresh
maybe.
for power play and everything else. All right, I think that's it.
All right.
We're going to sign off now.
Cool.
Thank you for watching. And please be sure to tune in this week for our episode that we'll be recording tonight after this. This is actually our last live. We're not going to do a live next week. Next
Okay.
Sunday. Right?
I don't know. Are we?
'Cause somebody's going to be here.
Right. You want to say that? Do you want to say that?
What?
No.
I'm just saying we're not going to have a live next week.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Because we have somebody coming in.
Okay, there you go.
That's it.
Somebody.
That's all I was going to say.
All right. All right, good. There you go. And you got the close.
I love the creeper look that I do this at work and people like complain about me in my session. I go, yeah? So good. So gross.
These are going on social. Someone's
And with
screenshot
that, I think we're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out our episode this week. It'll be out tomorrow.
Every time you say tomorrow, he starts laughing. So we're going to go ahead and get to recording. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate you and all your questions and your comments. Sometimes it gives us a good idea for what we should be putting in our show. So we do appreciate that. I apologize once again for being sick. I'm highly medicated at the moment. I've got Mucinex chloroseptic. I've got Afrin. I've got I don't know.
He doesn't even remember what
I don't
we were
remember
talking
anymore.
about this
I'm
morning.
Uppers,
living-
downers, sideways.
I'm living in a haze right now. So
purple?
thank you for putting up with me. I appreciate that. And we will see you guys
This week.
this week sometime. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.